possible to do it alone. It's like the fondest wish of the ego is I'm going to do this alone and find my way. And you start to see that that is really the fast track to staying bound in hell. The last thing a sense of personal identity wants to do is join, and I can see that now. It like I could see the play because I lived by myself and for many, many years, most of my life, I guess. So that was a surprise when Jesus sent me into community. And I could feel the call there, like when I first went to La Casa. And then going again to Muji, like being with all the beings that are so devoted to God. Sometimes you just don't want to be anywhere near them. But really, in truth, when you really look, you just see there's a support, like there's so much support because all the reflections are only with one call and one answer, which is Jesus. Like, just like here, there's only one call and only one answer, which is love. And without this joining, we can't see. You can ask Jesus, can I really see what love is? No, it's a concept. Love is a concept. It'll always feel like something that's taken and given. Something that's missing, in short supply. God, you didn't give me enough of that. Husband, you didn't give me enough. Wife, you're not giving. Child, you ungrateful. I hope you have one just like you. That was the reflection. In the play of consciousness, wanted to hear that, obviously, because that came out. I hope you have two like you. This is a play. That's a mother with 8 kids, 7 kids, in the play of consciousness. If there's punishment, right? I hope we all have moments where we're not exactly blessing our brother. Don't let the screen door hit you, on the way out. But at least when we see it, that we're trying to boot Jesus out of the mind. It's just too precious, these joinings. And I had just numerous joinings. You jump them, man. You just jump right on when you get the call, as guided, of course, because it's for you. It's like, okay, let me see. And it's just precious and wondrous. And you get to hear Jesus's message of love over and over and over again through your brother. And it gets like, oh, what do I need to see? You can see, I just get like a little kid. Okay. It's so much nicer than before. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I look. I was just looking at, one of the assignment that's come in that just so beautiful is Jesus says, okay, go back to chapter 20 now. You can start, we're going to go through that and look for movies and television programs that kind of refer back to the core, the different beliefs on the pages. Now, how fun is that? That really are pointing to and helping us see through the beliefs. And I thought, oh, how fun is that? If one comes up and you're looking at it, you can just watch a movie on it. Let them take you to the basement and on it. So that's a whole new way. Looking for the desired experiences with them. So anyway, I was working on that. And then, of course, I have a joining with Elliot, and he's constantly pointing to Mr. Robot. So he just pointed out 3 Mr. Robot episodes, and how you can just watch them. And for looking at some of the core beliefs, it's like, oh, that's wonderful. Right there in the list, you can start to see how Jesus, when you get an assignment, it's just for collaborating. It's to jump on board together for the comfort and for the reminder that we can all hear in God, hear Jesus's voice really well. And to just look and see where we just don't want to see it. That's it. If we're not hearing, and just the number of beings that are coming. Oh my God, it's like with Mariska today. And she said, this is so much love in this. She said, we were talking and she's, sharing the doubts that I can hear them and those kinds of things. And of course, we know how this goes, because as soon as we say that, the next sentence, you go ask Jesus, and then she's like clear as a bell. We can hear Jesus really clearly. And then she starts telling a story, and it's like touches you so deeply about when she was like 7 and Jesus came in a dream, and had her sit on his lap. And I think he told her she's called, actually. Yeah, something like, I had a purpose for you. Something like, it's 7. Like most of the beings are coming, have been talking to Jesus for a long time. How did we find each other? Because we're magnets for each other. That's how Jesus is orchestrating it, how he said, you're going to have mighties come. But anyway, it was just so touching. And it was like, well, why don't you just ask him if that was him? And it was, it just blew out the doubt thoughts of being called. To just ask him, was that you? And it's like, he's going, yes, that was me. Coming to talk to you at 7, He's been talking to all of us for such a long time. Now we're just seeing where we wanted to say no to hearing him, which is saying no to ourselves. So today we're going to I'm going to mention that tomorrow at 1, we're going to have a meeting of those who are paired in joining teams for chapter 20, just to have, if they're questions or just hear what Jesus is, the slowdown. What skinny is Jesus giving you in chapter 20? How's that rocket ship going? And that just feels really joyful. And we know it's going to be coming. We're trying to pair, if anyone's bilingual that can pair with someone in the Spanish side, let us know so we can pair you up. And we're going to, I know it's in progress, bless Dyra and that team. If anyone wants to volunteer who can speak English to help us get chapter 20 translated for our Spanish beloveds. So that feels really beautiful to have the team. So I'll put that out on the messenger group, our messenger group, the time and the link to the meeting. It's going to be at 1, so that the European beloveds, I love that, the beloveds can join us, the love of our lives, the shining of God's holy love upon us. They're going to come shine with us, shine on us, shine all the love of the Father on us. How about that for mighties? So we're going to start looking at chapter 8 and the purpose of this text. So let's see what Jesus has to say, and if he has anything else to say. This text is not meant to be intellectual fodder. It was hilarious when I heard that come out. It was like, I can hear him now. It's like, Jesus, fodder. So that'll be a fun one for Tyra. Thank goodness Jesus is delivering out the translated word that she needs, but just fodder being a form of food, fodder is what you feed your cattle. It's just not to feed on it intellectually. He's saying yes, because I was asking him about it, like, and other beings, like, what need do you need for this? You got the course, Well, if beings would go through and talk to Jesus about the course, you wouldn't need this. But there are beings, and it's fine, however it's appearing. Okay, it's not to judge that it's taking 25 and 30 years. Jesus is going, look, if you don't want to spend 25 or 30 years with the course, let me show you how to develop the relationship with me for the rocket ship, for me, because I need it, obviously, to look at. And there was a lot of, so what he was telling me, and the expression is, you don't have to be intellectual. It doesn't serve you to be intellectual. It doesn't serve you anymore to talk about the course metaphysics. See, there's big discussions, course metaphysics, and you are the course. Let me show you. You're a supreme being, and let me, ask me, and I'll just whisper in your ear the whole course metaphysics. So this is living it. Joining, he talks about joining through that, it's join with me in the light, hear my voice, speak my voice. So there's no spaciousness for the intellectual, well, what does that mean? Well, just come to him. Jesus, what does this mean? You don't have to postulate, because he's going to tell you directly when you chapter 25, because that relationship is going to, the more we go and we see, oh, he's dead, he's right. I relish that more than So this text is not meant to be intellectual fodder for discussion of its meaning. It's kind of the buck stop here, and there's like Yoda, there is no more try, just do or do not, see the choice, and he's just saying, we're powerful beings, jump in full. And that's really the only way. Otherwise, it's so painful. Because then you get to listen to the ego all day paint death scenarios. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? The if-thens, David calls them hypotheticals. Just notice how many times the mind comes in and goes, well, what about this? Well, what about this? What about? He says, I'm here. You all can hear me. I'm here to help you. And we're seeing that demonstrated. Some ridiculous number of videos we have now, just beings talking to them and being coached, because we need it. And I'm asking him, he's telling me for chapter 20, do the recordings. And if he prompts you, record your conversations. I was on a call with Marguerite, and she said, I think I'm to record this. And we could hear it, record it. She's got an audio. That's worth sharing, that session, because that was a deep dive on desire for choice. The desire to protect the desire for choice. The relishing of protecting it from looking. Because like Jesus, we're in the car and he's just going, you already know that choice is not real. So we can ask him, Jesus, do I know choice is unreal? He says, you don't need me to tell you that. You need me show you where you denying that there's no choice. How much you relish it. You just trying to protect every way from Sunday from looking to see that you already know if there's no choice. So that's when we're fighting him. We're fighting him to keep choice. That's the only argument. Ask him, Jesus, is that the only argument to keep choice? This text is not meant to be intellectual fodder for discussion of its meaning. Its meaning is clear and only for you, to me. It is time to move past discussion to direct experience. That's why the entire focus of everything is in these light circles is listen, speak, answer. It's everything is on direct experience. Thus, it is for contemplation. It's for deep relationship with the only holy relationship there is, which is Him. And this is why in the, unlike, it can be helpful for other beings. He just gives the instructions. And this is why the instructions on the brigade and on the messenger groups is not, no social memeing and discussions. And because there's plenty of places in the world for that. This is for questions for the light, for him. Admissions, okay, I really have this desire. I need help. Let's join. It's really, or this is what Jesus told me. So it's fully in support of the direct experience without any distractions, direct experience that infinite love is here. That's what this book is for. And to just after 50 years, can't be a surprise that he wouldn't come back and make a comment on that. Of course, in Miracles directly, to remind us that he's here for us and that we are capable of seeing this. It is not out of our reach to directly experience what's in A Course in Miracles, unless we desire it, in which case it will feel out of reach. It is time to move past discussion to direct experience. Thus, it is for contemplation. Let what appears here bloom in your mind as direct experience beyond words. And any discomfort you feel in reading it, let this be forgiven. As you are perfect peace regardless of what appears in form. Jesus, am I perfect peace? Is that who I am? It's what you are. Ask him, am I perfect peace? Divine perfection is perfect peace as identity. The ego still plays in peace as a currency that you get if you appease God. That was a powerful symbol in the village. And The Village is a movie where they kind of tried to create a little utopia where they could be safe, quote unquote, from all the quote unquote bad things happening in the world. Yet, interestingly enough, they went to live in this little community, yet it was a bastion of fear. Don't go beyond into the woods. Don't go look, don't look, don't look. So don't look. And then they hid all their memories, quote unquote, the bad memories, away in a box. I mean, the symbolism is just so powerful in that movie. Just a symbol of hiding from light, the desire to hide. And that something in form is going to make us safe. Rather than see as our safety as who we already are. Infinite light. Let this be the answer to your prayer to see you yourself as God made you. Sit with me in willingness for each sentence so you can learn to hear my voice and see that you are answered if you have questions. Know that the only question of value is, what am I? As the answer is already given. This text is only to point you to the power of full willingness, to look with me at every denial that is hidden. To ask me to reveal those denials to you. To keep nothing hidden. For you have called me to you to show you the way. Jesus, did I call you to me to show me the way? It also points to the ease in looking with me and your brother as my representative, to the ease in looking. And that's what he's showing us, ease and lightness and power, the power of the looking. For the pain is in the not looking. You can ask him, is all the pain in not looking? The avoidance of looking of where the pain is. So resistance is merely resisting looking. It's nothing more than that. Ask him. Is resistance anything more than just not wanting to look? It also points to ease in looking with me and your brother as my representative, how quickly what you have asked for is given. Every belief that is in the subconscious mind points to your desire for an experience. All of these beliefs are outlined in A Course in Miracles. I kept asking, they're all, yep. No. Any missing? No. Look at each one and ask me if you desire it, and I will tell you if you do, so that you can see your desire and thus can release it from your holy mind. Chapter 20. He took a bunch of them out of there for me and then showed me, okay, here's how you're using this to create a desired experience specifically. I have provided examples of the translation of these beliefs to recognize your desire for them in chapter 2 and 3. So he's kind of starting off the book a little bit, here's some introduction to looking at beliefs and how they're translated into desires. And there's plenty in chapter 2 and 3 just to get the hang of what he's really showing us. And basically all I did was I went into like Kindle, part of, then go into Kindle and I searched the word believe. Everywhere he said you believe or belief, one of those two. And then just copied those out. And then he started going through them with me. Okay, here's the desire. Here it is. You know. So technically you really don't need chapter 20. Most of it's there are a few that came from, I don't know where they came from. They came from him, he says. Because we couldn't find them, some of them specifically. Most of them are just directly right from the Course in Miracles. And then the desire part, he filled in the blank there. But I found whatever he gave me that ended up in that book, and there's very little editing at all. I mean, it would just pour it out, and then what you see kind of is what you get. And then okay, look at this, and this. And it was helpful for me. And I asked him, do I leave it? And I can hear him now. He just leave those there. They have a purpose that I don't know. He's the sets it up. It's helpful for me. Join with your brother in this willingness. For this has tremendous power, and together you will see that you are one. It's really the distillation of exactly what we're doing now together. Joining, and then came, of course, the Joining in Light Miracle Worksheet. And then he's given the instruction on chapter 20. So even if you don't have chapter 20 yet, you can join and join and join, and he'll deliver out the beliefs that you need to see and the desires. And he'll explain it to you. You can ask him, Jesus, will you show me which ones? And now there are like tons of joining videos, so you can be reminded how to speak with him and how he'll coach you so directly. He's just reminding me this is just for everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Sending love from San Juan Kosala.